Likutei Moharan. Today we start a new Torah, Torah Chaf. I don't know if you noticed, but these Torahs, as we are getting along, they're becoming wider, deeper, and more complex. Torah Chaf Tisha Tikunim. This is non-rectifications. This is about the third parak of Sefer Tzniusa, Pirkot Lisoeh, the Sefer Tzniusa. This is the third chapter of Sefer Tzniusa. This is a teaching in Teres Anistar, in Kabbalah, that is included in Sefer HaZohar, in Parshas Truma. Tisha Tikunim Yikirin Itmasran Adikla. 9 precious rectifications were given to the beard. In Olam HaAtzilus, you know that we have 4 worlds. There's Asiya, Yetzira, Bria, and Atzilus. Above the Atzilus is Adam Kadmon, this is Olam HaKeser, but we don't talk of that Olam at all. We're talking about the 4 Olamas of Asiya, Yetzira, Bria, Atzilus. So from above, Atzilus is emanation, it's emanated from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Underneath that is Bria, it's an element of creation, being that Atzilus is still considered part of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Atzilus, one way to explain it is emanate, to emanate authority. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Moshe Rabbeinu put his hands on Yeshua, and he was matzil from his Ruach Elokim on Yeshua. So he emanated on him. But Atzilus is also from Lashon Etzel, by. Where are you? Ani Etzel Moshe. I'm by Moshe. It means Atzilus is very, very close to Ein Sof. So in many ways, this is the first olam that really that we have sefirot. Not sefirot, we have all the time. We have kelim and orot, that we have lights and have the vessels to receive them. But in Olam HaAtzilus, that is considered part of the HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's so much, so clean, so that the kelim themselves, which are the vessels to contain, it's the cup, you need, so the coffee is the oiris, it's the main thing, and the cup is the thing that enables the consumption of the coffee. So that's the keli, and that's the or. In Atzilus, the kelim are also oiris. It's so fine, it's so subtle, it's so ruchnisdik over there, that even the kelim are oiris. Go down to Bria, there's mamash kelim. It's kelim. Now the thing is that all the olamas, what happens is it's almost like a hand inside a glove. Okay? The Atzilus is inside the Bria. So Bria is like a glove, and Atzilus is the hand inside the glove. Yetzira, Olam HaBria, and the Atzilus within it are the hand, and the glove is Yetzira. Olam HaSiyah, the Atzilus, Bria, and Yetzira are the hand inside the glove, which is the Siyah. So Lamaisa, what you see is the glove. Yeah. It's one within the one, within the one, within the one.
Like the Mushkas.
That's exactly right.
Amen.
But this mashal, there's an extra information which is being given, whereas the hand is the thing that operates the glove. When you see a gloved hand, okay, the glove is not doing anything. It's the hand. But what do you see? You see a glove. You see a glove, doing, lifting, whatever it is. But it's the hand inside.
The hand has to be closed.
But the hand is now inside that Atzilus, there is Olam Kadmon underneath it. And inside Olam Kadmon is Ein Sof. So Kadosh Baruch Hu, the Or Ein Sof, is the ultimate hand inside everything. That's the hand. Now the hand has all kinds of levushim, garments on top of it, kelim on top of it, and help them. Once we gave it, mashal, like it's like electricity. Okay, so the keli is air conditioner. Then with the keli of air conditioner, electricity produces coldness. When the keli is this phone, this camera, the electricity produces video. But it's always the electricity that's producing everything. So we have these four olamas. Now, in the Olam HaAtzilus, in the very beginning, before what we call the shattering of the vessels, there were 10 sefirot, 10 simple sefirot. Chochma Bina Das, or Kesach Chochma Bina, Chesed Gvura Tiferet. Each one of those, they were what they called kelim dekatnos. They were like constricted kelim. Each one could contain only its own light. We explain it, it's like a child has a constricted mind. A child can, because the mind is constricted, understands pleasant is good, unpleasant is bad. A child, because the mind is constricted, cannot contain two things which contradict one another. Like a candy is bad for its teeth, for the kid's teeth. Child, he wants a candy because it's tasty, it's good. That the mind says only one way. Now, take a child to be inoculated. It's an injection, it hurts, it's bad. The child cries, he doesn't want. Why? Because his mind cannot contain good and bad, together at the same time. When you have the godless, when you have a mature mind can contain two things with two opposites in one package. So the first spheres were like constricted spheres. It was primitive spheres. Now, the Kodesh Baruch Hu contains everything. Contains all the spheres. So what happens is they shattered. It's like a child's mind. You give him two things together, the child falls apart. You don't give him the candy because it's not good for him. Throws a tantrum. You take him to the doctor to get he throws a tantrum. Shattered. That's the shattering of the vessels, everything that came along from it. Then came what they call Olam HaTikun. That's the realm of rectification, which is in which the spheres were realigned. The spheres suddenly contain each other as well. This is already mature, expanded consciousness. Chesed as Chochma the Chesed, and Bina the Chesed, and Das the Chesed, Chesed the Chesed, and so forth and so on. In other words, it's a fractal principle at work. Everything is including everything. Then the spheres were realigned in 5 supernal personas. These are spiritual structures. And they are in a form, as a mashal, it's a form of a family. You have the Keser, it's called Saba, it's called the grandfather. You have the Chochmah, the persona of the Chochmah, which is called the Abba, or father. You have the persona of the Bina, which is called Ima, your mother. Then you have the persona of the 6 Sefirot from Chesed to Yesod, which is called Zeir Anpin, the small face. In Saba, you have Arich Anpin, the long face. That's the Kesed. Long face is because it has a beard, white beard. Zeir Anpin, the small face, is the son, contains 6 Sefirot, and then the Malchus is the daughter. This is already Olam Atikon. Now the Sefirot start having relationship with one another. They receive, they give, they yearn for. In fact, if somebody was to learn Kabbalah and run his family according to Kisva Arizal, he would have the best, well-adjusted family possible. That's the proper relationship between all the Sefirot, who gives to whom, the kind of respect that you give one to another, and so forth and so on. The relationship, the special relationship between the mother and the daughter, the Bina and the Malchus, and so forth and so on. In Olam HaAtzilus, as we said, there are 5 personas, which is Arich Anpin, Abba, Ima, Zeir Anpin, and Nukva. Nukva is the female, the Malchus. Now, in the persona of Arich Anpin, of the Kesed, there are 13 spiritual structures, which is called the 13 rectification of the beard. Well, that was interesting.
Took the table. Word inside.
Oh, okay.
That's why I don't hear it. And I don't want somebody to walk away with it.
Oh, it wasn't there?
I think so. Now it's quiet. I heard it still on the side of the wall.
All right. So,
Now it's in your building.
in Arich Anpin, in the Kesed, there are the 13 tikkunim of the beard. These also called Kleisa, Mechelti, Derachame. These are the 13 containers of compassion. The ultimate compassion is in the Olam HaKesed. We once said that the Zeir Anpin is the Melech, is the king. The Arich Anpin is the emperor. In the judgment, there's judgment on Zeir Anpin, there's judgment in Kesed. The Rachamim in the Zeir Anpin are more limited. It's like a court. Court, when it gives a psak din, it gives a verdict, it can be lenient, but within the law. It's within the law. But in Arich Anpin, the law doesn't apply anymore. It can be a presidential pardon. Just guilty and wipe it out. Finish. That presidential pardon, which we are looking for all the time, especially now in Elul, Shoshana, and Yom Kippur, is what we're trying to reach is the 13 rectifications of the beard, the 13 vessels of compassion. Because we want Kadosh Baruch Hu to wipe our chatoim and guns, no mitigating circumstances, circumstantial evidence, blah blah, nothing of the sort. Just wipe it out. V'chanot et asher achem, et asher achon, v'yichad asher arachem. And I should pardon he who I should pardon, and I would, have rachmanas, I have compassion for whoever it is that I'm going to have compassion. Which means, Rashi says, I will reprieve whoever it is shall reprieve. Rashi says, even if he is not deserved. Because the emperor wants, finished. That's the reason why. That's the kind of achmas we want in Yom Kippur. We're not saying we're not guilty, we're guilty as heck. But we want Kodesh Baruch just wipe it out. That's why in Yom Kippur we have a lot of Yud Gimel Midrash Larachmim. Again, especially at the end of the Eilah. Again and again and again. Hashem, Kelech, Omach. These are 13 Mechilot Derachim. And every time we're saying them, we're creating the vessel with our mouths. And the light of Tleisa Mechilot Derachim is coming into the world. These are the 13 Tikkune Dikno, the 13 rectifications of the beard. And they exist in the realm of Arich Anpin, Sama, that's the Kesef. Okay. In parts of Ze'er, that's the basic, that's the court, right? The court of law. There are 9 spiritual structures, which is called 9 Tikkunei Zakon. The Tisha Tikkunei Zakon, 9 rectifications of the beard. Moshe Rabbeinu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells him, when he reveals himself to him, he tells him 13, Hashem, Kelech, Umach, Hanun, Erech, Hapam, Chesed, and then when Moshe Rabbeinu is mentioning, he's ameliorating the chet of Am Yisrael, what they're doing is, he's saying, Hashem, Kelech, Hanun, just mentions 9 of them. 9 of the 13. Because the 13, they're Arich Anpin, they're in the Kesef. The 9 are the leniency that's given to the court of law. They exist in Ze'er Anpin. It's Rachamim within the law. The 13 is Rachamim above the law. 9 is Rachamim within the law. And these 9 Tikkunei Zakon of the beard, of Ze'er Anpin, which are extremely precious, they are given as a heritage from the grandfather to the grandson, from Arich to Ze'er. Because the 9 lower tikkunim, in other words, what are these 9 tikkunim? These 9 tikkunim are actually tikkunim of the 13. There are 9 of the original 13. Those are the ones that's given by them. And they they go down and they illuminate constantly in the 9 tikkunim of Zeir Anpin. In other words, the 9 tikkunim of Zeir Anpin is not the tikkunim of Arich Anpin. In Arich Anpin he has 13. 9 of those are the hand inside the glove of the 9 of Zeir Anpin. That's the tikkunim. Kol ma de'itme v'lo isgalia. Anything, says the Safra Tznius. De'itme v'lo isgalia, everything which is hidden and concealed and is never ever revealed. Ilo v'ikoro ishtokach. It elevates, it is an importance and exaltation and chashivas. It's extremely important, extremely chodet. Vu genazo yekir. And this is from the precious concealed treasures. This is why the 9 Tikkun Dikna are not mentioned and alluded to in the Psukim of the Torah at all, which is the opposite of what I said before. I said Moshe Rabbeinu did say it. Well, apparently I was wrong. Okay, it's not the first time. So it says, so we're talking about 9 precious tikkunim given to the beard. Kol ma de'itma v'lo isgalia, everything which is concealed, always hidden, never revealed, and is incredibly important, incredibly precious, incredibly honored, and is one of the most precious concealed treasures that there are. Now, he's saying what these tikkunim are. What these 9 tikkunim are. The 9 rectifications of the beard in the persona of Zeir Anpin. And he mentions them. Nimin al nimin, hair upon hair. Mikame pitche le'udnim, before the orifice of the ear, like here, like the chmoshel, like here, kaviyachol. That come ad, in other words, ad reisha lepum, ad reisha until the mouth, the head of the mouth, like this, from here all the way down to here. Hair upon hair coming down from the beard all the way to the edge of the mouth. We'll talk a little bit something when we finish mentioning these tikkunim, a little like Domo, that about these Mashal. Meresha Hai, Leresha Acharo. That's the second. The hair of the lips, around the lips, this around the lips, they exist from the top, the head of the lip from the right side until the left of the left side, and there are all the hair around the mouth, both the mustache and the underneath, are included in this second rectification. The third one, Ishtakach mitchois trei nukbin orchom malia de lo ischad. It is found beneath the 2 nostrils. It's filled with small hairs, in a way that stops, that divides the upper lip until it's until it's light, until the root is like a road here from the nose, like two ridges, like a road in between. So these hairs that are coming over here, they hide it until it is not seen. That's the third tikkun of the beard. Il-in ischapia mehai gisa or mehai gisa. The cheeks that are covered in hair, with hair, from the right side and from the left side. The fifth one, beho ischazian tapuchin sumkin kevardo. And in the cheeks themselves, the face is revealing itself without hair, and it's round. The cheeks are round, like akin to apples that are as red as roses. Cheeks. That's the fifth tikkun. Bechad chuta talian ukmin takifin ad chedvoi. In one string, hanging and trickling down. In other words, the hair in the front part of the beard, they are black, they are strong, because they are actually the root of the dinim. They go all the way down to the chest. Sifvan suki kevarda ispanu. The seventh tikkun is the lips themselves. They are red, like a rose, and they are clear of hair. The eighth one, zeirin nachtin begroino or mechatvan kadlo. The short hair that are growing and covering the throat, and they are covering the throat, which is on the other side of the back of the head. That's the eighth. And the ninth tikkun is Ravin Ze'erin Nachtin Mishkola. Big and small hairs that comes down equally, all, and they are in the half part of the beard, not the one that grow on the neck, but the one that grow on the beard, the inside of the beard, and they're also going down, down to the chest. Beileh nishtakach gibar v'tokif. With these 9 tikkunim, the face, that persona of Zeir Anpin is found strong and resolute. At the end of the Maimon, at the end of the Torah, the Rebbe will explain how everything that we're going to learn in the Torah is included in these 9 tikkunim. Now, to understand B'chlal, the whole inyan of these Mishalim, Kabbalah is full of Mishalim, the family relationship, especially when it has to do with zivug, when it has to do with intimate relationships, and so on and so on. The first and the most and foremost admonition and warning that is given to anybody who wants to learn Kabbalah is not to materialize the languages that are used to explain the Kabbalistic process. As long as a person is negua, especially in the Taivas Niyuf. It's very difficult to hear and strip the mishalim that you hear from their physical dimension, kiviyachol, and understand them on a purely theoretical level, on a purely spiritual level. It's difficult. It's like you tell a person here, the male, female, really? Well, she's like, what can you do? But to understand, I saw B'Shem, the Ben Ish Chai, that he explains our inability to understand the Meshalim in a wonderful way. Because it explains to us our constricted minds. And he said, once there was a king in Spain. Now, that king had his own ship, his own yacht, the royal yacht. That royal yacht was driven by a captain, a grizzled, old dog, that have seen everything, been through everything, knows everything. There is no kind of, sea that he has not seen, no weather he did not experience. He is the one that the king travels, and travels with him. So you can imagine he's the authority on handling a ship, commanding a ship. Okay, now the guy doesn't get any younger, right? So he tells the king that he wants to go to his wife. He has a small son. He wants to teach the son, how to handle a ship. So when he gets old, whatever it is, so his son can be the next captain. Okay? He says, fine. He goes to his house, and he says to his wife, he wants to take the son and to teach him how to become a captain. So the mother starts crying. What do you mean? You take a small boy, you're going to take him to the ship. How can you do this? Whatever it is. He says, okay, tell you what. I'm going to teach him right here. How can you teach him right here in the house? So he takes a pilot, what's it called, a pail. He fills it up with water. He sits the son is 6, 7 years old, whatever it is, sit down. You see this? That's the sea. Okay. Then he takes an eggshell and he puts it on the water. He says, that's the ship. He says, then he takes a toothpick, and he puts it on top. And he says, you have here 3 toothpicks in the eggshell. The middle one is the most important one. There's the central staff of the ship. So he says, okay, there's 1 toothpick here, the 2 smaller toothpicks before and after. Okay. Then his father takes from the egg, the thin, between the egg and this thin membrane, and he cuts it to pieces, and he puts it on the toothpicks. And he says, these are the sails. And he takes hair, just really thin, and he ties the toothpicks. And you understand, these are the ropes with which you tie the sails, the It's the membrane. The sails, you tie them, and when, and you tie like this. And then he takes a spoon, and he ruffles the water. He says, now there's a storm going on. And you see the eggshell going like this. Now is the time to pull up, rope up the sails so they don't get torn. And he says, and he stops mixing up the water. He says, now the sea is calm. Now you open up the thing. He goes through the whole thing, explaining to the kid how to run a ship. The kid, what does he get? He gets, this is a pail of water. He thinks that the sea is a pail of water. And the ship, what is a ship? It's really an eggshell. And the ropes are really air. He understands it at the level of, there's a pail of water, there's an eggshell, there's this, this is what it is. In the meantime, it's really just a muscle of the actual sea, the actual ship. But the kid doesn't get it. The kid sees a pail of water, what is a storm? You mix with a spoon. All these inyanim that we'll learn here, we are like the kid. We're shown the eggshell, the pail with water, the toothpicks and the hair tied and the membranes, and it's like, and we think that this is what it is. It's a face, it's a head. There's no face up there. It's ruchnis concept. It's a spiritual concept. There's no, the hair is a concept, face is a concept, eye is a concept. When they say Ein Hashem, the eyes of Hashem, we're talking about the kiviyochel, the spiritual structure that Hashem has put in place to watch over the creation. That's called Ein Hashem. It's a spiritual thing. There's no eye there. There's no. Being that we're starting talking about really like open Kabbalah over here, so I thought it would make sense to have this shtickle akdama. First of all to understand what is said over here, just al pshat, and understand that we don't understand anything at all. Now here you see, it says, with these, the Zeir is found, strong and resolute. The hair of Zeir Anpin is black. This is Dinam. The hair in Arich Anpin are white. That's Rachamim. That's compassion. Because white is a mashal for compassion. And the black is a mashal of constriction, of demon. That's why we're using this mashal. Ad Kan for today.